Yeah, well, you know what?
who's just
Speaking of
like,
Ryan, let's do Ryan next. Let's do that very faint slight character next. So
that's actually who
Ryan,
I pulled up. Go for it before I start
Ryan.
talking about him.
So what is Ryan for
So do you want to
you?
start or I can go?
I'll let you go because you're on a roll. I'm going to let you cook.
Okay, so yeah, Ryan is the kind of person you meet at a bar who introduces you to that entire community and you have a good time, basically. That's the long and short of it. If we were to compare that to Duke, Duke is the person who would introduce you to that community, but Duke is what I call an orbiter, which is somebody who's more or less been kicked out of that community, but still has his pack that he does stuff with.
Mm.
So, yeah. So Ryan and Duke will both give you drugs, but Ryan will probably give you like some kind of drug that you're probably going to enjoy, maybe. Like he does with that little the little Finnick guy who's there.
Yeah.
He like gives him a little drug, and this person knows him well enough to believe that this isn't gonna hurt him.
Plus, he
So they'll
seems
just
to be. He seems to focus on consent. As long as you're consenting, he
Mhm.
seems like that's okay. He'll encourage you, but I don't think he'll even get mad if you decide to just not decide to engage, especially if he's already got someone. Like he already had the Finnick, and he was encouraging Chase to come on and have a good time.
Yeah.
But
He's the kind of guy who, so in that community there's this whole I like consent is absolutely crucial to any of them. If you don't have consent to do something and you do it anyway, it's something that starts with an R and sort of kind of sounds like a grape a little bit. Only maybe if you get rid of the G in the grape,
oh, okay,
but that's
yeah,
essentially what it's considered.
pretty
So
much,
because it's
yeah,
yeah, because it is an inherently sexual act in its own way. So, when you get into the actual weeds of that community, it's hyper focused on consent. It's like to the point that if you don't have consent for something, you're not supposed to do it at all. Someone, which makes perfect sense
yeah.
because most of the stuff that you would do in that community, if somebody decided to take it to an extreme, could cause harm.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of that is going to either have an emotional consequence or like a physical consequence. And you have to understand, and you have to believe that the person can do this at a level that is going to be safe for all parties involved.
Mm-hmm.
So, to give you an example, shibari. Shibari is just really fancy rope. So, if somebody does this and they do it well, there shouldn't be any harm that comes to the person being tied up. If they do it incorrectly because they don't know what they're doing, because they never went to a munch, then there's a good chance they cause nerve damage or they hurt the person in some way, shape, or form.
No shit.
And yeah, as it turns out, stuff can be dangerous. So there's a degree of understanding how all this stuff works.
Yeah.
Um, just as a side note for anybody who is actually interested in this kind of stuff, if someone seems to not like that you have boundaries, don't play with them. Period. Get hell away from them.
Yeah,
If
that's
they
probably
say I really
abusive.
like,
That's
yeah,
Brian.
yeah. If they're like, if you say, I really like this, but I don't like that, and they really like that, but they don't really care about the other stuff. If they're still like, yeah, let's do it, but we have to do that thing you have a hard boundary on, and probably don't let them tie you up because they'll probably there's a good chance they do that thing anyway. Those people end up as again what I call Duke and Orbiter. Whenever you hear horror stories about that sub community, that subculture, Duke's the kind of people that you run into. Um, Everyone that I have ran into in that community who's actually good, their whole thing is they want there to be an agreement and they want you to be voluntarily doing things. They don't want you to feel forced. This is entirely up to you to do of your own volition. And now that you're going to make an agreement about what people will do. Both parties should be getting about equal out of it in their own ways.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
the actual community is really not that fancy.
so he's
It's
kind
kind of just
so Ryan is kind of a representative of the good side of that community that people just don't understand the community, but he's the good side of it, right?
Ryan. Yes. Brian is the bad version. So it's
Ryan
just
with a B,
yeah.
Ryan
R
with a Y.
yeah. Yeah, Ryan with the R as the first letter. The German Shepherd is the good version. Like I met tons of people who are like Ryan, and
They're the
they're
goodest
all great.
boys.
Yeah,
So
they're all
smash
great.
or pass on the Ryan with an
I'm gonna
R.
I'm gonna go with Smash. What about you?
You know, I don't know anything except for the stereotypes of that and what you told me about that subculture. I don't know much at all about it. But if I was to venture into it, this house cat finally, this house cat again went on this wild, crazy adventure where he found himself in this smoke room surrounded by dogs and lizards and foxes and what the fuck not. Uh, he would be the guy I'd be okay, experimenting with. And what you've told me, this is the kind of guy who he would respect the boundaries. He would accept that this isn't my place, but he'd be like, it's fun, man. It's fun. Like, come back. We'll try it. You've got your first exposure. It's a little overwhelming. I get it. I get it. Just come back. Come back next time. Get out of the house again. The cat door is always open. The front door is always open here. And maybe we'll go a little deeper. So I think he would be a smash. I think we would
First is
smash.
pinky deep, then before you know it, it's fist deep. Remember to do the duckbill,
Not sure
and it's
what
elbow
those
deep.
things are, but you just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. You a cave
He's
miner. That's what you are.
he's shoulder deep. He's having to bend his elbow. Someone out there is probably laughing their ass off. Somebody else is probably mildly horrified. Uh,
Someone's like, poor fucking Terry just has no fucking idea. Cat so the poor damn cat is just so sheltered. Get out of the house.
but yeah, like people like Ryan, you'll hear occasionally stuff like consent is my kink. That's kind of their thing to an extent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen
But
that. I've seen that around on
yeah,
like
yeah,
Pinterest and stuff. So yeah, that's cool.
yeah. All
And probably
right.
also accountability kink is probably something he would also say. Be accountable for what you did.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, if you run into, so like, there's what are called fin doms, financial doms, and
Hmm.
like their entire thing is that if you run into one that's actually healthy for you and you decide that you want that you want someone helping to moderate your money, I guess, then like their entire thing is they will try to make sure you are making sound financial decisions,
Okay.
like sound accounting decisions, and you would have to like ask them for money. It's not my thing, but there are people out there who it is definitely their thing. Most of them tend to make a lot of money, so they have money to burn on that.
All right.
But
Oh, I've heard of
yeah,
that. So my that was like on our episode of r slash or some other Reddit reading thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I mildly know what you're talking about. Okay.
Just keep in mind, everyone, there is like the actual version of that where they are kind of acting as a fiduciary in a way. You just and they won't let you buy gifts for them if you really can't afford it. But then you'll run into other ones who will like charge you enormous amounts of tribute, basically,
Yeah.
um, to like even talk to them. So it's not something that I'm super into. But there are people who really get off on buying someone something really nice or giving them money for their attention to an extent. As I said, it's a kink, and not every kink is going to translate to every person. It's just the nature of kink.
Yeah.